So as a teenager, I said, look, you have a universe that you are constantly evoking. You have a universe, you're at the center of it, and how you go is how your universe goes. And so if you're going to do something, you want to ask yourself, do I want to have that memory in this universe? And that hit him.
So for me, right there, that's logotherapy by Viktor Frankl.
Well, yeah.
The idea that I can configure anything in my mind and look back from that back into myself. One of the logotherapy strategies that I use, I think of my granddaughter and think that she is 25 and looking backward, whether I'm still alive or not at that point, and looking backward, and she is seeing me in this moment. Will she be proud of me in this moment or not? And that is my guide. I know what I need to do if I had any doubt.
Well, first of all, we all love Viktor Frankl. And there's something about that is somewhat of a shadow element of all of psychotherapy. Viktor Frankl told his story once to, thousands of psychologists, and everybody just was moved. But I don't think that they realized that they were having a spiritual experience. They were connecting with something larger than themselves. That there was an energetic container created by him that they were sharing. And then that container was not just that moment. That's a container that they all, to some extent, created with their patients, their clients. And that you can increase the intensity and the power of that container by understanding it and welcoming that energy, just as he did. And it kept him alive in the concentration camp. And later on, it inspired us again and again and again. And yet, from the stage at conferences, people would be unwilling or unable to talk about that very real experience of channeling somehow that spiritual energy into the session, into the workshop, into the work that they were doing. And that, to me, that was a deficit in the field. So part of my job was to remedy that in each one of my books. There are articles, there are chapters on experiencing that spiritual container, generating it, and maintaining it. And speaking of the shame emotions, the way you maintain that container as a therapist is by living your principles,
Yes.
by being in integrity. And so if you begin to drift off of that, you'll feel a little bit of shame. And that shame is a guide then to shift back into that spot, that spot of integrity.
Well, so I described what you are painting as the gift of shame, which, by the way, coming back to just the way you instantiated it with a teenager, by asking the question, would you want to create this memory in the universe? Beautiful, powerful way to invoke that. To me, what it brings to life is what conscience is. This is the presencing of conscience.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And Jiminy Cricket was pretty close. Jiminy Cricket was, I let your conscience be your guide. Well, that voice, that's compassionate self-observation. That's the fourth stage.
Along with our website at portalsofperception.org, Portals is also available on YouTube and on all podcast platforms, as well as social media. You can become an active member and join the conversation in community events. And you can help us get the word out by liking this content and by sharing it with your friends.